Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the IPF World Open Classic Powerlifting Championships 2022 here in beautiful Sun City, South Africa, presented by Aleco and SBD for the IPF's 50th anniversary. Okay, so this is the 93 kilo class, the B group. We have two flights of 93 kilo lifters. I'm Joe Whiteley and I'm here with Welsh national treasure Owen Hubbard.
Good to be here, Joe.
So this is going to be interesting. I mean, we do have the 93 kilo. This is the B group. The A group is later on this evening, but it's just amazing to see the strength of competition right here. We've got quite a range of age classes. We've actually got a guy in Masters 3 who looks to be opening on a world record. Now that, I think, is generally a little bit worrying. Always bad luck. What do you think, Owen?
Yeah, it's always a risky move to open on a world record, but David Ricks is a seasoned veteran, that's for sure. So
something of a legend.
Take it in his stride, I'm sure.
Right, we've got Brodie Cochrane, Australia. He's coming out for 235 kilos for his opener. I mean, the main thing here is just to get your opener in. You don't want to be opening on something that's going to be a problem for you, because you've got to be looking down the road and getting 3 lifts in. Let's see how this one goes for him.
Years young, 3 years in competition, his personal best is 240 kilos.
Easy looking open at that.
Yeah, good descent, strong climb. Oh, he's got one red.
One for depth, but
yeah,
seemed okay to me from here.
Yeah, so let's just look on the replay. Maybe he's off to one side.
It's got very long femurs, so it's always harder to see depth.
Yeah, that's true. The referees are, as we always say, in a better position. Okay, so this is Ntuli Nkosinathi, South Africa, competing on home turf. Always a bit easier when you've not had to fly 6,000 miles. That's Henk de Vet, his coach. De Vets are a strong powerlifting family in South Africa. Just going to be making sure his lifter gets one in. Nice depth, I think. Yeah, solid.
245 kilo on the back.
That's the key to an opener, just clear it on the board.
Yeah, and sunk it nice and deep there. A little bit of rebound from the bottom, which is can be a risky move when the weight gets heavier, because if it doesn't bounce properly, then you're in a world of pain. Shimon Tsuya, Japan now. 245 on the bar for him. Very strong powerlifting nation, the Japanese, especially strong on bench.
Yeah, big bench presses for sure.
I asked one of the coaches at the Kazakhstan bench championship recently what the secret was, and he said training, technique, and good nutrition.
All the fundamentals.
Yeah, but they're good in 3 lift too. Let's see how this goes.
Super solid.
Yeah, this is the way it should look. You don't want to be seeing the knees cave in. Oh, he's got a red. Got a red for depth.
very controlled though. I think he can go a little bit deeper if he needs to next time, but you got 2, so 2 whites is all you need.
And that's it. You do run the risk of it being challenged by the jury at that point. It's obviously better to get 3, but 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Alexander Karasson of Iceland, 250 kilos, which I believe is what you opened on yesterday, am I right?
257, yes.
Oh, you did? Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Doing you down there, I do apologise.
You have more things to concentrate on than just me, it's okay.
We've got 5 spotters on the platform, which is usual once we go over 200 kilos.
This one's fast, popped up.
Yeah, again, nice and easy. 3 whites. Good lift for him.
50 kilo on the back.
Let's just watch this one.
Loaded for Dio Ruffy, New Zealand, 250
Nice solid depth.
Yeah, gets harder and harder as the weight goes up, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But the crease of the hip should be below the top of the knee, if I'm remembering the regulations right. It's always tempting to just do it at parallel, isn't it, or just below parallel, because as the weight gets heavier, it gets more scary.
You're always, my always thing is to say to people, really get your opener nice and deep, and then the referees are happy with you. They're not looking for the depth. They're not too worried you're going to be cutting it.
True. So Rafi Dio, New Zealand, also on 250. Quite a few lifters from New Zealand here.
A little bit of work, but
yeah.
A little shake of the head. I don't think he was too happy with it. But
No, but the referees are.
it looked like he sort of fell back into it a little bit, sort of in the hole. But
Yeah, I saw that. A little bit of instability as he got towards the sticking point. Still, good lift so far. Now, this is a man who has graced the IPF commentary before, but he's here on the platform. Rob Esselens of Belgium.
270 is his personal best, followed by Lupo and Rix.
255 for Rob. Just getting the bar settled. Resplendent in SBD's last but one. I think that's the Rise range. SBD, of course, the sponsor of the sport.
yeah,
And I think
Phoenix.
Rise. Oh, of course, it is Phoenix. You're right. Yeah. Although Rise would have been appropriate for this lift of Rob's. Yeah, no issues there. So Lorenzo Lupo now. Italy.
Loaded for Lupo Lorenzo, Italy,
267.5.
Yeah.
29 years young, 70
Weight's
in
starting to go up.
Yep.
285 is his personal best. Followed by
I think Lupo means wolf in Italian, if I'm right. That's a pretty good name for a powerlifter.
Strong name.
Definitely a strong name. I hope he howls.
Nice, solid opener that. Yep.
good lift.
Nothing wrong with that.
82.5 kilos.
We got our first world record attempt, I believe.
We have
This is the world
David Ricks, US Virgin Islands.
squat record attempt.
So David's an M3, which means he's at
By
least 60 years old.
63, yeah, according to our cards, yeah. So opening on a world record. Now, David Ricks is a seasoned lifter, 41 years in the game. Let's see what he can do here. Now, we have lifters who are hype lifters and lifters who are not. I think David falls firmly into the hype category from that, just hyping himself up there.
Massive, massive opener for 63-year-old.
Yep.
See how it goes.
So of course, if it's not good, then he's put himself in an interesting position. Let's see.
Moved pretty well.
Did. Yeah, look at that.
Really nice.
Game on for David Ricks.
I
love how David Ricks has been in this sport probably more. He's been competing more than a lot of these guys have been born.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, the average age is sort of around the mid-90s, isn't it?
Yeah.
And there's David, born in 59. Right, round 2. So Brodie Cochran of Australia.
The second rounds now. This is where people are going for PBs, and this is a 5 kilo PB for Brodie.
Or at least that's what he's told us.
Yeah.
All the way from Australia.
It's good to see the Australians back on the platform after a tough couple of years with COVID.
Yeah, both the Aussies and the New Zealanders were locked in for a lot longer than the rest of us, weren't they? Now that's starting to look tough. I think if we see the replay, yeah,
Quite.
I think the knees went in, didn't they? Should see this now. Once the bar starts to rise, the knees start to come in. Yeah, and I would say that was parallel at best.
Yeah.
Here's Natuli. He is competing up to 1, so he's pretty new to the sport. Not doing bad to make it to the World Championships at all in your first year.
That's when you've got a knack for the sport, for sure.
Yeah, he's built for it if you look at him. So what's he got on the bar now? 250. No.
So see what happens there. I feel like the spotters might have taken a little bit. I wonder.
Yeah, well, he got to the sticking point. I think he got to the sticking point and it dipped, and he carried on with it, but he was not going to get a lift.
Really deep, I think. Yeah, he sort of went forwards anyway, out of the hole, so I think he probably would have got failure for up-down anyway.
Yeah, which is blue lights, downward movement of the bar. So he's got another one to go. Shimon Tsuraya, Japan now. 255 on the bar for him. Looked pretty solid on his opener, but 10 kilo jump can make all the difference.
His opener was really controlled, really controlled squatting technique, so hopefully he can, his goal is to just hold that technique as the weight gets heavier.
Yeah, I think this is what we see from Japan. Their technique is generally awesome. I don't know if they get a reasonable amount of state funding. They always seem to bring a huge team and physios and all that kind of thing, which helps. Now he went forward a little bit at the bottom there.
Yeah, 2-1. He sort of managed to control it enough. That's exactly what we said, you know, control into the hole, but if it shoots you forward, that's when you lose your line, and it becomes more difficult when you're not over that mid-foot.
Yeah, but he got that one, so. Right, so Rafi Dio, New Zealand now. Only gone up 7.5. I say only to 257.5.
Best thing to do, just build that total. He didn't seem too happy with his opener, how it moved, so it's probably a safe bet. I'm sure he'll come out and smoke this one.
Yeah, it's all very well saying I need 20 kilos on my second one to stay in the game, but if you put yourself out, it's important to run your own race.
That looked much better than his opener, actually.
It did.
Pretty wide.
Sometimes, I mean, more in equip than in classic, but sometimes putting a bit more weight on can help you control the bar and get into the zone.
The first squat nerves as well, sometimes a little bit of jitters, get one out of the way, and then you're a bit more confident coming out for your second.
Yeah, good for him anyway. Alexander Karasson of Iceland. just out of the juniors at 24 years old.
Yep. Nice 15-kilo jump from his opener.
Yeah. I mean, strength sports, any of the Nordic countries, particularly Iceland, they seem to be really good at this, whether it's genetic or just sheer determination. Probably a combination.
Yeah.
That beep there was for the 30-second timer. You've got a minute from bar loaded to get the squat command in this case.
Let's have a look.
Yeah, look reasonable.
Yeah, 3 weights.
Happy with that. They're always. I know it's a bit of a cliche, but to say the Icelanders are very cool, but they generally seem to be quite cool. Yeah, that was textbook, I would say, for the Icelander.
Yeah. Here comes Rob now. 270.
Yeah, we're starting to see a bit more hype from Rob now. He looked very serious for his first one, but he's a bit of a roar there. Yeah, another man for a 15-kilo jump. This is a tough one as well, because these guys are not only competing against the people in their flight and the flight after, but also the flight that's going to happen later on.
Yeah. 3 weights.
Well, good one for Rob. Although we have seen, every time we've had a B group, we've seen at least one person medal on an individual lift.
Yeah, if you're in the B group doesn't mean that you're not in contention for single lifts. You might be maybe a little bit off the pace for the podiums and the totals, but we still got some. David Ricks, I'm sure, will be chasing down possibly with a squat medal.
So here's Lupo, the Italian Wolf. 275 for him. His coach staying well within the coaching area. That marked out area is the area beyond which a coach must not go. So it's very tempting for them, but yeah, no problems there.
Yeah. So 305 on the bar now. So David Ricks has gone from 282 to 305.
Well, secure the record. Secured it by 2.5 kilos, and now he's really going for it. It's always nice to see a master still competing in the open.
Yeah. And not just competing, but really bringing it.
Yeah, he's tearing it up, isn't he?
Yeah.
Very, very fierce on the podium, on the platform, but when you actually speak to him, he's just a lovely guy.
Let's see how this one moves.
Yeah, once you start to get above 300, you start to see that bar bend. And trust me, an Eleiko bar does not bend easily. Very different from weightlifting bars, which are much more whippy. Wow, look at that.
Wow,
He's done it again.
He's bringing it today. Let's see what he's put on for his third.
Yeah, we'll just keep an eye on the scoreboard for you. One thing I can definitely say to you is it will be a world record attempt. Yeah, I mean, it's starting to look tough, but you would expect so when you're breaking at world records as a Master 3.
I feel like anything over 300 is harder for it not to look tough.
Yeah. I mean, 300 kilos is a lot of weight. Right, Brodie Cochran didn't get his 245.
Just missed it on depth last time, so he just needs to go a little bit deeper.
Yeah, maybe half an inch.
Yeah.
As you said, though, once you've started to get the referees looking for depth, then they're going to have their eagle eye on it for any subsequent lifts. I mean, all these referees are very experienced lifters themselves. They know how it is.
Let's see how this goes.
knows he's got work to do.
Let's see what the refs say.
I can't call that if I'm honest. Oh, that's excellent execution. I think it did look deeper. If we look now,
Yeah, just about.
yeah. At this level, you know, the absolute minimum amount of performance to get to the depth you need. Here's Nicole Sinathi now. Again, didn't get his second at 250, so he's coming back for that again.
Yeah, sometimes it's just a technical thing. You just make the changes mentally and come out and execute. Let's see how he does.
Sometimes a polite word from the coach in the back.
Yeah.
Sometimes not so polite. Depends on what works for you and your style.
No. Today.
Yeah, so he sunk that really deep, but then couldn't climb back out. And that's a shame. And if you watch how deep this goes now.
Yeah, he just sort of sits back into his heels a bit too much, and just it's so hard to get any power there when your weight's shifted back.
Yeah, because you're driving the weight up, but if you've got to drive it back in, you know, in line as well with the line of the body, it gets very difficult. So Tsuraya, Japan, 262.5.
Just needs to try and hold that composure now.
That's absolutely classic, isn't it? A 10 kilo jump and then 7.5 for your third.
Usually the jumps get smaller from attempt to attempt.
Usually.
Usually.
There's always an outlier. Oh, or a YOLO.
Yeah. David Ricks has done that. He's gone 26.5 extra.
David Ricks is something special.
That's really nice.
That looked nice to me.
No.
Oh.
Commentator's curse.
I did say after he'd done it.
Yeah. Depth was the reason for that one.
Yeah, once you see the replay, that was just on parallel. So here's Rafi Dio. 262.5.
Tight back! Come on, balance! Bend the bar! Come on, mate, you've got this!
I don't know if you can hear the dulcet tones of the New Zealand coach there. Just filtering through very slightly.
Tight back! Tight back!
He's done a great job. He's been on the platform every day so far.
Yeah, Rory's a workhorse.
Find your balance! Balance! There we go, that's it, mate!
He definitely doesn't need amplification, does he?
Quads!
Right, what's Rafi got? Oh, that's a shame.
So close too, so close.
So hard once you lose that inertia. You're basically starting again halfway up the squat.
Yeah.
While people do pull back, it's rare.
Yeah, once that bar stops, you know, it's really difficult to get it moving again.
Great job by the spotters getting him back into the rack there.
Yeah. Give him every chance to get the lift, but as soon as the bar went down, they had him.
Yep. So here's Karason of Iceland.
272.5.
Yeah.
600 pounds. Nice milestone.
I'm surprised you remember pounds.
Yeah, you always use them to make the milestone smaller.
True. And they sound bigger as well.
They do, yeah. Not far off. 5 red plates on the bar.
Always nice to see. We've got a few in reserve though. We've still got 4 each side, so plenty of room. Might see them all used on Super Saturday when we got the super heavyweights.
Yeah. Did well to save that.
Well, it all went wrong there, but he wasn't giving up, was he?
So difficult when those knees come in. They leak a lot of energy, but he stuck with it.
Yeah, if you just watch this, you see the knees go in, and he kind of leans forward a little bit as well, but he's not taking no for an answer.
It's just tenacious.
That shows real guts. So here's Rob.
275. This would be a 5 kilo PB for Rob.
Yeah, no, he went up 15 from first to second. He's only gone 5 for his third, so he must know what he's capable of.
Second move well. I think this is within him, but he's probably just looking to build that total. That's the important part.
It is. It's all very well getting a squat medal, but got to save something for the bench and the deads.
Smooth. What do the refs say? Yeah.
Great job for Esselins. As soon as he walks away from the bar, just look how calm he looks. All hype, dead happy, and then relax.
280 now, and then we'll have David Brooks after that to finish the first group.
I mean, he's by far the oldest, and he's moving by far the most weight.
He's actually going for the senior world record next.
He's a good lad, isn't he?
Nice.
Yeah, nice for Lupo.
Really impressive lifting from Lupo. Every single one just looked the same.
Yeah, that's the way you want it. He will, of course, now be kicking himself and going, oh, I could have done another 10 kilos. But as we were saying earlier, that's powerlifters.
Open world record attempt now by someone 63 years old, which is
absolutely outstanding.
Hard to explain how impressive that is, really. You know, when there's masters are there for a reason. You know, once you get into your 40s, it becomes more and more difficult. But this man is in an M3, and he's competing with the big boys.
He really is. So he's going to take 4 records in one if he gets this. The Open, 1, 2, and 3 Masters. What a legend.
This would be huge if he gets this. This would really put a statement down for the evening session.
Yeah, he's clearly wanting to get a medal.
Yeah.
Let's just watch this one. I mean, it's just the walkout looks tough.
Giving it everything.
No. As soon as you saw it drop, we'll see that on the replay in a minute, but he dropped down too quickly and there's no real coming back from that.
Just couldn't quite keep that brace, keep the control, and just 331.5 is always going to be a tough ask, but give it everything he could.
Yeah, he kind of went off to one side as well, and again, once you're fighting in directions and want the weight in 2 directions, it becomes very difficult. So we're into the second flight. Thomas Gear of Canada.
Some good lifters in this flight. Just missed out on the evening session, so should see some big totals being put up here.
Yeah, it's quite often if you end up in the B group, you've got a point to prove.
Yeah. Actually, we've got Will Pickering in this group, who is the current European champion.
British lifter, right?
Correct.
So again, that looked nice and easy. Gear. Textbook, I would say. So René Hofer, Austria. 265 kilos. So we're back to everyone just making sure they get one in.
Yeah.
Don't want to spoil your day by missing one, because it's both a psychological and a physical disadvantage. You expend a lot more weight on energy on a failed lift than you do on a good one.
That was nice. Very, very quick.
Yeah, can't fault that.
That's the thing as well. Sort of sets your day up getting your opener and then getting as many squats in as you can. Sort of keeps that ball rolling.
Yeah, you don't want that psychological damage. As they say about a lot of sports, it's 90% mental, 10% physical.
Yeah.
If you don't believe you can do it, you probably can't.
100%.
Right, let's see what Will can do with 270. Not to forget, I think Will has been doing some coaching earlier on in the week as well, which does take it out of you mentally.
Yeah, it's quite a hard thing to mix the two.
Yes, Will, set it up.
We've seen great work from the British team all week, though.
Yes, lovely, Will.
Right.
Wow, that looked really easy.
Nice looking opener.
275 kilo on the back.
Yeah, I can't fault that at all.
Yep.
How you call it?
Right, Richard van Bezuijen, Netherlands. We're told he's got a PB of 285.
275 kilo, Van Bezuijen, Richard, Netherlands.
So he's opening just 10 below that.
Kilo below his personal best. 26 years young, 7 years in competition. Followed by Fuller and Lewis.
A new SPD Netherlands singlet.
Yeah, they do like the orange, don't they?
Probably my favourite singlet so far, I think. I'm keen the orange. Very, very easy.
Well, it seemed to work for him.
Good lift. 275 kilos still on the back.
Everyone's on the board so far.
Yeah, they're not giving us a lot to talk about, are they? I'm sure they're happy that they're not.
So this is Adam now. Adam and Will been going back and forth in the British ranks for quite a while. You know, Will managed European champion, and then Adam came and beat him at the Nationals. So this is a little battle within a battle, I'm sure, for the Brits.
Yeah, national rivalries are probably something you should usually leave behind on the platform, but it's going to be in the back of your mind, isn't it?
So it's hard not to think about it. You know, you always want to place as high as you can, no matter who you're up against.
Yeah, the thing is to run your own race and then see who you've beaten at the end, but it's very tempting to go, oh, I'll just have another 2.5 kilos and I'll beat this guy. But
Nice looking opener from Adam.
yeah.
Yeah, 3 weights.
275 kilos still on the back.
Very, very deep, which is good. That's what you want to see.
Yeah, you don't want to be having to go deeper on the heavier weights because you're more likely to fail. Okay, so Matt Lewis Vayner of Canada, 275. We are seeing places on the graphics, but of course this is the first round, so. And we've had the guys who are nominated lower gone before them, so we can't really read too much into that, essentially until you get to the deadlifts, looking at the placings.
Yeah. Like you said, run your own race. Try to go 6 for 6 after squats and bench, and then see where you are come the deadlifts.
Yeah. Great lift for the Canadian. Not quick, but he stuck with it. Didn't panic him. So here is Suko, Germany.
Competition, 34 years. Yeah. Followed by Castro.
280 for an opener.
Yeah. Pretty smooth. What did the ref say? 3 weights.
Yeah. It's a lot, if you watch as he goes back up, there's a lot more movement in the legs than we've seen with some of the lifters.
Yeah.
So the knees go back and forth.
Yeah. He tries to drive his through.
So Castro of Spain.
Probably one of the first Spanish lifters I've seen this week. Quite a small team this year, but
And he definitely falls into the height lifter category.
yeah, definitely.
Wise words from the coach.
He's happy with that one.
See, he said. I think I'd have to agree with him.
82.5 kilo on the back. This is a new personal best attempt.
Really nice squat technique.
Yeah.
In out.
Plenty of depth, not too much.
282.5 kilo. New personal best. Come on,
Very nice. Right, Mehdi Tamasebi, Iran. Told his PB is 280, and he's opening higher than that.
This is the beauty of if your training's gone well, you can really bump up through the stand-ins.
You often find as well that the stated PB has been beaten since, you know, because that's what they put in when they put the nominations in. If they've competed since then,
Yeah.
they could be a little more confident about that. What did he weigh in at? Yeah, 92.65. There's not a lot of spare on him there, and you can just see the striations on the veins on his arm on the left. On our left, I should say. Anyway, that looked great.
2-1.
Shows what I know.
I did think they looked a little bit touch high, and the referees sort of agreed with that.
Well, let's see now. Yeah, hard to see.
It's sort of one of those where you don't want to be giving that doubt on your opener. Sure, he'll come out with strength was there, so next one.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you see people go up and stick with a game plan, but I think generally the most sensible thing to do is retake that weight.
Yeah. Usually retake the weight and then maybe take a bigger jump onto your third.
Yeah, if you're feeling confident. So, Gear of Canada for his second.
Nice.
Looked just like the first, to be honest.
Yeah, his first was controlled like that. Second didn't get much slower, didn't speed up, just nice and methodical, really.
Sticking to the plan. Coached by Jeff Butt of Canada, who's a legend of the sport. So here's Hofer, Austria.
15-kilo jump from his opener. These weight classes and above, it's sort of like 15-kilo jumps quite standard.
Yeah, as the body weight goes up, it's a smaller percentage of body weight. You wouldn't expect to see a 15-kilo jump in the 47 ladies, for example. It does actually get quite tough for them because 2.5 is the minimum gap. And that for a smaller lady is quite a lot, but we're definitely not smaller ladies at the 93-kilo men.
Really fast pop up as he gets out of the hole. 2-1.
Yeah, blue for, would that be downward movement?
Yeah, I think when he comes up at the top, it's almost like he's so fast that the bar sort of went down a little bit as well. So I don't know whether that's the reason.
Well, only one ref saw it, so he's good with a 2-1. Right, Mehdi Tamasebi, Iran.
That's one of them where if you get 2-1, you're a bit, well, I'm just going to not worry about that too much.
Yeah, of course there is a risk if it's 2-1, if it's not unanimous, that the jury might get involved and you know, look at the replay, same as we're doing, and say, actually, I didn't like that. They can overturn it. Anyway, 282.5.
This is going to be tough for him because of the way it's landed. He was last out in the last round. Because he's retaken it, he's now third out. So he hasn't had much of a
Yeah, 4 minutes max, and probably less than that. Yeah, it's those big jumps that can cripple you. Everybody else is pulling away now.
What do the refs say?
Well,
2-1. Got it this time.
yeah, it did look better.
85 kilo on the back.
Well, he's in the game.
Yeah.
Nothing worse than seeing 2 fails and seeing somebody come out and they've got that look on their face.
Slight panic.
Yeah. So here's Pickering now.
This will be an equal squat PB for Will. Will's very hyped lifter.
Yeah, you're telling me.
And the jury have actually overturned the Iranian's second squat.
Yeah,
so
I was
he's
a little
gonna
worried.
Come out for the third and nail it.
That's not a great place to be in. Yeah, we've just had it confirmed that that was depth for the Iranian that they overturned it on. 2-1 for Will.
Yep. So as Joe said, the jury are there as sort of quality control. So if they think that there's been a mistake, they're happy to overturn that, and rightly so. And that's what's happened.
Yeah. So Van Bezuijen, Netherlands now. The jury also have the advantage of the replay camera that you're seeing on the feed here.
Yeah. 287.5 now.
Yeah, it seems to be a popular number. There's 3 of them in this group going for that weight.
Not sure about the one I see. Yeah, I didn't think it was quite deep enough.
No, you're right.
287.5 kilos.
So tall for a 93. It's just very difficult to judge that depth sometimes.
Yeah, the longer the femurs, the harder it is to sink the hips down.
Yeah. Adam, 287.5 now.
Yeah, so Pickering got his 285, so Adam's just got a point to prove.
This will be an equal PB for Adam on his second. Build that total. Adam trains out of Desert Barbell over in Dubai.
Oh, that's interesting. So he's used to the warm temperatures that we're getting here in the South African winter.
The warm 19 degrees. Very good looking second, that. Yeah.
Yeah, nice for Adam.
287.5 kilo on the back.
So 287 again. That's the third lifter on 287.
287.5 kilo, followed by Sukov and Castro.
Yeah, last 3 in the second round.
Come on, Matt.
Matt Lewis Vayner, Canada. So very much not a height lifter. Very calm.
That looked nice to me. He looked really controlled.
A little slower than his first one, but you know, another 12.5 kilos.
What I liked about that one though is a little bit slower, but it stayed exactly where it needed to, and he was just patient with it through the middle and just drove it up.
Yeah, you saw the knees rock backwards and forwards a little bit, but not much. So here's Pascal now, Germany.
15 kilo jump from his opener, knocking on the door of 300.
Yeah, it's interesting when you start to get towards big numbers like that, because you know it is just a number, but who doesn't want to squat 300?
Yeah.
This should beat his posted PB by 5 kilos. And again, you saw that interesting, the knees go back, forth and back. You see that on the replay.
Seems to work for him though.
Yep. I'm not criticising his technique. He can squat way more than I ever could.
Yeah, he sort of just tries to get his quads involved a little bit more.
Yeah, it's just how he works mechanically, isn't it? Castro now.
Even more height again.
Oh yeah. Ruben Rodriguez Castro.
The whole Spanish team every year are always the loudest.
I don't know, the Brits were pretty loud last night. Yeah, he wasn't taking no for an answer, was he? Let's see the lights. Yes. I'm not sure how much more he's got, though.
One of those where 300 maybe might be a little bit too much, but do you waste energy by jumping 2.5? That's the numbers game now of the risk or reward.
Yeah. So it's all looking pretty close here. Gear's a little off, but the rest of them, 20 kilos separating.
Yeah, it's really tight.
Top 7, yeah.
And all these guys will be really trying to build as much of a total as they can to see if they can put a sort of cat among the pigeons for the evening session, which is the top flight of 93s.
Yeah, that's the top 8.
Yeah.
But as we said, we've seen a medal from every single person, from every single B flight so far. So.
Push it through. Hold it there.
Nice again, third that one. 2-1.
I think that was well judged by the Canadian coaching team.
Yeah. Sort of on the money on the depth, just did enough. Weight was pretty spot on. That's where the coach is in their money.
And that was a 10 kilo jump as well, so it's not like he's just gone up a small amount. That was really, really nice work. Right.
We need this one now. Missed it on his first, missed it on his second. Both depth, he's strong enough for it.
At this point, he's just going to sink it and hope.
Yeah, you don't want to miss on depth again. You just want to go as deep as you can and just be confident that you're strong enough.
And look at the look on the spotters. They're going, please come up with it. We don't want to help you up with 282.5. They're doing a great job this week, those spotters.
Yeah. What do the refs say? It looked a little bit better than
I'm
the
not
last
going to
one.
say anything.
Yeah,
Oh, he's in.
3 whites.
I did think it looked good, but I didn't want to curse him. Well, he's got to be happy with that.
Yeah, he'll come off and go, why didn't I just do that on the first one? But he's on the board.
That's all that matters. That's the thing, you've got to put that behind you now, because he's got to go out and warm up for bench now and stop worrying about what happened on the squat. Right, here's Hofer of Austria. He's only gone up 5. Again.
Second was a little bit of work, so I think it's the right call. Every kilo you can get on an international platform.
Yeah, absolutely.
So explosive out the hole that he's always going to pop out, but then that's when the work starts.
Yeah, because you switch from one muscle group to another, don't you?
Yeah. It's just get that stretch reflex, but
didn't quite get the handover from one to the other. That's a shame. Right, so Bazuyan, he didn't get 287.5, so he's decided to go for 290.
Yeah, he missed 87 on depth, so he's come off thinking, I'm confident I can do a little bit more. So he's just taken another 2.5 on top, and he's confident he's going to get this, just needs a little bit more depth.
Well, I hope he's right.
got it up, but let's see what the referees say. 2-1.
Yeah,
Gamble paid off.
looks like it.
This is also new personal best.
Yeah, I don't see the jury moving, so hopefully he's good.
There's always that tense minute after you get 2 whites, not 3.
Yeah.
New personal best again, followed by
Here comes Will.
Let's go, Will! Give big hand here. New personal
Asking for a bit of motivation from the crowd. Funny, some people thrive on it, and other people just walk out and all they can see is the bar. They've no idea. The building could be on fire and they're still going to squat that bar no matter what.
Let's see what Will's got. What do the referees say? Oh, I did think it was on the border.
292.5 kilo on the back. This is also new personal
Yeah, I
best.
don't think that was even parallel, slightly above.
Eyes loaded for
We'll be
full-up
disappointed with
line
that,
up
but
glitter.
let's go
292.5 kilo,
regroup.
new personal best. Come on,
292 next.
Yeah.
Followed by Luis and Castro.
4 lifters remain.
Come on, Adam.
Then there'll be a 10-minute break and then bench press. So we'll see the first and second flights come out again for the bench press. So this is about just making your mark now and getting that third squat in. As you say, building the total.
Let's see how this goes for Adam.
Now Adam's got a big old bench as well.
Oh, not today.
No, that's a shame.
So close. The right number, I think, though. You know, it was only a 5 kilo jump from his second, I think. So
Yeah, it's possible 2.5 wouldn't even have gone. So.
Eyes loaded for Luis Vena, Canada.
So here's Matt Lewis Venner.
Followed by Castro.
292 again.
Come on, Matt. Come on.
Very, very calm, as we've seen with him on every lift.
Such great control with his squatting every single time.
Yeah, you're right.
That's a good lift.
Clearly no issues with depth. I mean, if you watch this one, he might have gone deeper than anyone else we've seen do a successful lift in the third round. That's
Yeah.
way
Wow.
down.
For the moment, between the
Well below the hip crease. Really nice.
Yep, great job by the Canadian team.
eyes loaded.
Right, here's Castro, cover your ears.
Castro's been bringing the hype the whole time. He's taken 2.5 kilo jump from his last one. Just wondering if he's going to come out for this. His last one was work.
Yeah, I don't see him. We can't see very far into the technical controllers area from here, but
I think sometimes, you know, when your second one is hard work and you think, maybe, do I waste my energy for another 2.5 kilos where I can maybe make that up on the deadlift? You know, it's one extra lift that you might not need to do.
yeah, and it's more common in equipped, but it's also the polite thing to do in classic lifting, isn't it? Because you can just say, I'm not going to take a third attempt, but then that means everybody else in your group has got a lot smaller recovery time.
Yeah, especially when there's only sort of maybe, you know, 8 or 9 in a group that can move quite fast. So it's courtesy more than anything.
So here's Pascal now in Germany.
302.5 kilo on the back.
302.5.
His second one was quite a lot of work on the 95, so let's see what he's got. He's feeling good, clearly.
For Sukov Pascal, 302.5 kilo.
7.5 kilo jump.
Yeah.
Followed by 10 minutes.
See what he's got. It's going to put him in a good place if he gets it.
Yeah.
really can't call this at all.
Last squat of the group. No, unfortunately not.
No, shame.
10 minutes break and then we start the bench press.
So we'll now be thinking, would 300 have gone? Well, we'll never know. That was an interesting round of squats. Everyone apart from... No, everyone's in, aren't they?
Yep, yeah, the Iranian got his last one, so we're all on the board.
Yep, all to play for. See you back here in 10 minutes for the bench press. Okay, so here we are for the bench press. All to play for, because we've seen everyone got a squat in, although the chap from Iran only just managed it, Tamasebi. But he's got to put all that behind him now. Not a huge difference between what everybody's going for on bench. I think 140 is what Nikosinathi is coming out for, and the biggest opener I can see on the board, I think, is 190. Tamasebi of Iran.
Yeah,
could just go any way.
No real bench specialists in this one. Sometimes we'll see someone who's a little bit off the mark on the squat and the deadlifts, but they're a big bencher.
Often the Americans tend to bench, I think because they do it in high school, and bench press, the longer you've been doing it for, the more power and strength you've been able to build.
Yeah, you have not many sports really that really utilize upper body strength, so you might be used to using lower body muscles and then transfer as well to squat and deadlift if you haven't been powerlifting in your youth. But like you said, Americans get a head start because they utilize bench press in their training, even just as recreational really, at such a young age.
Yeah, that's right. So David Ricks, US Virgin Islands, does qualify as American, even though it is a separate nation, but saying that, David is giving away quite a lot on age. Still, he's coming out at 180 for his opener. So, and the Masters 3 record's 198 for David, so I think he's probably going to have a crack at that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
He's not afraid to try for a YOLO, is he? Right, so Nikosinathi, 140 on the bar for his opener. One of the younger guys in the group, born in 97.
Yeah, only been competing for a year as well, so this is really great for him to get that experience on the international platform.
And he does have a home advantage. I do love that Eleiko bench. It's been about, 3 years since it was launched?
Yep.
And it is the absolute market leader.
Yeah, I think they brought it out in Helsingborg.
Well, Bar's had to travel a long way.
Yeah, 3 whites though.
It's an interesting one, bench press, because it's the most technical lift where you move the least weight. But I've heard a few people say, bench press, it's just a lie down between squat and deadlift. But I've then seen those people beaten by a bench specialist. So it can go any way. Here's Dio, 145.
Yeah, if you're on the bench press, like you said, there's such small muscle groups, there's so many things that can go wrong. Your bum needs to stay on the bench, your head needs to stay on the bench, feet need to be flat, you can't move. There's a lot of reasons for failure.
They can move laterally, can't they, but they can't come up.
Yeah, so you can move from side to side, but heels can't come off the floor.
And your feet can't touch the bench itself either, so... he's got his feet quite wide, so I don't think he's going to have that issue.
Three weights?
Yep, can't argue with that. Not much to say about that really, because it looked nice.
So you should be seeing really nice easy openers.
So here's Soraya of Japan. That's quite a moody profile shot, isn't it?
Japan, 155 kilo, followed by Essence and Lupo.
Japanese are usually very, very technical benchers. And they all seem to have quite a very similar technique.
In bench press is 162.5.
See how he gets on, just setting up.
Always worries me with a long bench setup, because if it takes you 40 seconds to set up, and then you get told to re-rack the bar for whatever reason, your elbows aren't locked or something like that, you're in a bad place. But hopefully he doesn't get that. smooth.
Good lift.
It's really interesting with his hands. He almost not gripping the bar. I wonder if just as he comes up there, he sort of releases the bar with his hands.
Yeah, that's a good spot. His fingers came off, didn't they?
Yeah, and you know, technically the rule is you have to be holding it. So I think actually the jury maybe is just, I don't know if they have a word with him, but they've certainly stood up from that.
Yeah, not much they can do because 3 white lights. But so here's Rob now. Rob Esselens from Belgium.
Rob's a strong bencher, seasoned lifter.
Got the look of focus on his coach's face.
Very easy opener.
No problem there, I don't think. Great job, Rob.
175 kilo on the back. His personal best is 185.
Nice touch, great arch, good drive.
Yeah, nice technical bench.
And you speak as something as an expert.
175 kilo, the bar is
One of the
loaded
things
for
I can
Lupo,
do well.
Lorenzo, Italy,
It's not a big list,
followed
but
by Carlson and Riggs.
Right, Lupo, 175. Again, with the first round, we're not hoping to see much drama. Certainly the lifters won't be. Just get your opener. And then start thinking about what you can do.
Rashid, come back, they are out now.
Clean touch, nice drive.
yep,
Good
3
lift.
whites.
180 kilo on the bar. That's 2.5 kilo below his personal best.
Does look like his wrist rolled back a little there, but it's really not a problem for him.
Alexander, Iceland, 180
Yeah, so
kilo.
it just let you sort of keep the chest high so that it doesn't roll to the point where you lose control.
It's always very worrying having a weight like that right above your head. That's why we've got these spotters here to make sure they can catch the bar. And of course the safety racks at the side as well. So even if it does come down, the safety racks are going to stop it. Right, Karasson of Iceland, 180 on the bar. He's amongst the youngest guys out here.
Yeah, born in 98.
Just him and Louis Vayner from Canada.
Nice bench.
Yeah, good control on the descent. We'll see that on the replay in a second, I think.
Does really well as well, just watching the replay of just keeping his chest high and just feather touch, nice and soft. I mean, it usually means you get a nice quick press command.
Yeah, like at the bottom of the squat, you don't want to sink it too deep.
Yeah.
Now, David's listed PB is 210, and we did say the Masters 3 record is 198.
Has been competing for 41 years, so that
Yeah.
might be a...
You're not sure when he set that. I mean, he last competed in Halmstad last year. Last year's Classics. Pretty special one at Aleco headquarters, that one.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. Game on for David.
Yeah, I think we might see a crack at that M3 world record today later on.
I certainly hope so. Well, we're going to see what he's put in for his next attempt in a minute, but in the meantime, here's Brodie Cochran, Australia.
Come on, Brody.
Brodie is a big bencher, you know, comparative to his other two. You'd say that this is his specialist out of them. So he's probably going to want to try and get as many kilos as he can here.
Yeah, the margin's smaller because the weights are smaller, but still, any advantage you can get. You never know who's going to have a nightmare with their first deadlift.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Again, that soft touch. You know, when you're the rule is when the bar is motionless, you get the press command. So it's not a arbitrary 1 second. So he did really well to get the bar to stop as quick as possible.
Yeah, this is why you have to control it on the descent. It's no good just letting it slam into your chest and bounce up, because you are not going to get the press command at that. No touch and goes here. Nkosi Nathi, South Africa.
The bar is loaded for Nati Julie, South Africa.
5 kilos up from his opener.
Followed by Dio and Tsurugi.
A conservative jump, but bearing in mind this guy is essentially a novice at the World Championships.
Best way to learn, throw yourself in at the deep end.
Oh yeah. You do hear people saying, "Oh, I'll compete when I'm ready." No, compete now, and then you'll find out when you're ready.
Good.
Yeah, look good. So anyone at home, if you're thinking about competing, don't think about it, just do it.
Yeah.
That's a great lift for Nkosi Nathi, though.
Eyes loaded for Dio Rafi, New Zealand, 150 kilo, followed by
50 on the bar
Julia
next.
and Essen. Come on, Rafi! Come on!
So Rafi Dio, New Zealand.
Nice set up.
Choosing to bench with the belt on. Not everyone does, but if it gives you that sort of strength in your core.
Yeah, usually it's a trade-off. You'll lose a little bit of shape, a little bit of arch with the belt, but you'll gain a little bit of tension and brace, so whatever works best.
And he's got quite a short torso, so his arch is going to be smaller anyway.
Good fight through that middle. Let's see what the refs say. Yes.
Yeah, I didn't think it dipped.
He did really well to get that bar moving again.
On this replay, it's going to look like it was there forever.
Really great patience there to just not lift your bum, not get too worried, just stuck with it.
Yeah, that's a great job. Okay, Tsuruya, Japan.
Followed by Essence and Lupo.
Interesting to see his grip again this time, because did feel that his hands were sort of not in control of the bar.
Yeah, his fingers opened, didn't they?
Yeah,
but
just hopefully that doesn't accentuate on the heavier weights. But we'll see. Might just have been a little bit too light and sort of lapse of concentration. We'll see.
Oh, you're right. What his right hand there is, he's grasped it now. Yeah, he does that at the top every time. Fingers open slightly.
177.5
The referees think he's in control of it, so
Yeah, he did get one yellow.
I think that might have been for the bum coming up.
I think it could have been.
It's
Very difficult as a side referee on bench though, because you've got to watch so many places: the head, the bum, the feet,
Yeah.
the bar for downward movement. You can't have your eyes everywhere. Right, here's Rob. Last one looked great. See what he can do with a 7.5 kilo jump.
The Japanese lifter, his bench did get overturned because his bum did come up, so the jury have overturned that to a no lift, unfortunately.
Yeah, it looks like he's being told it's something to do with his grip. So what you spotted might have been spot on, Owen. But
very easy there from Rob.
Yeah,
there's really not much to talk about with that lift of Rob Esselins. Very nice.
And the bar is loaded for Lupo.
There comes Lupo.
400 pounds, 182.
5 kilo, 2.5 kilo below his personal best. Followed by Carason.
Don't want to blink at that weight.
No.
Orte Lorenzo. Dive.
Yeah, it's a big old jump.
Yeah, usually in the bench press you'll see smaller jumps, sort of 5 to 7 halves. A 10 to 12 is quite a big jump if you were to do that. Nice looking second.
Yeah, 3 whites, no complaints. So yeah, Shane Soraya is having to go for that weight again, which I think is the sensible option.
Yeah.
I guess in a way with these guys, here comes Karasson of Iceland now for 185. There's not so much pressure on these guys at this level. I'm sure they would beg to differ, but you know, if you are down in the first flight in the B group, then really you're not chasing a win. It's just about doing what you can do.
Yeah, most of the time if you're miss a lift on your second, the sensible move is to retake it, you know, especially with something like the bum coming up, because you don't know if you can press it with your bum down. So
yeah, that's it. I mean, usually the bum comes up as a result of you trying everything to get the bar up, because it's not just about the arms, the whole body is involved in a bench press.
Did well to fire that up.
Yeah, he did. Seemed a little difficult.
You just lost a little bit of tightness in his chest. You can see when the bar hits the chest, his left arm just dips a little bit, and then you can see it trails a bit on the way back. But
good one for him anyway. Right, David Ricks gone up 12 and a half to 192.5.
So this will put him in striking distance of that world record. The M3 world record is 198. So if he makes this move well, I think we'll see how he does.
Well, he certainly made it move well.
Yeah. Very nice indeed.
I think we're going to see 198.5 for him.
Yeah. 197.5 now is the final bench press of round 2 here.
Yeah, Brodie Cochran, as you said, bit of a bench specialist.
197.5 kilo. New personal best attempt, followed by Nati and Gio.
Very easy, that one.
Yeah, that's a good one for Cochran. So yeah, we just had it pointed out to us actually that because this is an open competition, Ricks cannot try to chip a Masters record, and that's why he's put in 202.5 for his third. Now that is a Hail Mary if ever I've seen one, but
could have gone 200, but he's gone, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it properly.
Why mess about with a mere 200? Here's Nkosi Nathi now.
147.5 for him. 2.5 kilo jump from his second. Second was quite tough, so I think this is the right move.
Yeah, I would agree. See what he's got. Definite disadvantage with those long arms.
fight.
Yeah. Question is, did it dip?
See what the referee say.
I don't think it did. No, it didn't. Stayed with it.
Yeah, the refs agree with you.
52.5 kilo on the bar.
Yeah, I didn't see it myself, but I have been known to miss things before.
Vice loaded for Dio Rafi.
really nice that.
That's a great battle. That's a really well judged third attempt. As has often been said, if a fly had landed on that bar, he might have had some trouble. But
Yeah.
right, Dio of New Zealand,
Nice and tight.
only gone up 2.5.
His second was real work. The bar stopped for quite a while.
It did.
So,
And that third bench is like the difficult third album. It can
Chest tight.
be very, very difficult. If you see any fails in bench, it generally tends to be in the third round, especially with the guys if they've been egging each other on a little bit.
Drive. Push, grind it out, grind it out.
great fight though.
Yeah, shame when an irresistible force meets an immovable object, you get 3 reds.
Take care about the grouping, my friend.
So this is the lift that got overturned by the jury, so he's taking 162.5 again.
Yeah,
And the bar is loaded for Surya Shimon, Japan, 162.5 kilo. Followed by Essence and Lupo.
I did see him being told to make sure his grip stays closed.
For the Beagle.
I don't think that, as you say, I don't think that's the reason it was overturned, but he's certainly been told by none other than the IPF president.
Sort of one of those rules where you have to, your whole hand is to be sort of in control of the bar, so it is a bit subjective. But
Yeah, slightly open to interpretation, but you don't want to give anybody any room to speculate. You want to make damn sure that it's exactly right.
yeah.
Stop. Press. Right.
Well, his fingers didn't move, and neither did his bum.
182.5 kilo.
Moved much better too. Maybe
It did,
that
yeah.
new technique's going to work for him.
His personal best is 1. Who attempts to change the
Well,
number
whichever
for the
way.
Beagle? Vice loaded for Essence.
Right, here comes Rob.
From Belgium, 182.
Now, this is a little below his stated PB,
Followed by Lupo Tarasso.
but
Who attempts to change the
if you're
number
sitting at home and you're going, wow, why wouldn't you go for your PB? International lifting on the world stage is nothing like competing at a regional, nothing like competing in the gym, nothing like a national. You've had a long flight, food's different, you're in a hotel room you're not familiar with, you're warming up in an unfamiliar environment. Unless you've tried it, you can't knock it.
As well.
Good
That's a
lift.
great job for Rob Esselins.
85 kilo on the bar. He's
Now, he told me that his shoulder wasn't feeling so great, but I'm not sure if I believe him there because that looked fantastic.
the vice loaded
Maybe the right
for
call
Lupo
to just keep it a little bit lower than his PB.
Yeah, agreed. It was well judged anyway for Rob. Right, Lupo.
Andiamo, Lorenzo. Forte.
5. Only a 2.5 kilo jump from his second. Good technique, Lupo. Sets himself up nice, gets his shoulders depressed and retracted.
Great concentration from Lupo.
Stop. Press.
No, not today.
No lift.
Well, that's it.
1 out of
2.5 was the minimum he could have gone, and
Bench is one of those where it can drop off the cliff quite quickly. You know, you might feel like you're feeling good, and then, like you said, that 2.5 is just too much.
Iceland, 190 kilo. New personal best attempt. Come on, people. Give
so
me
here
10.
comes one of the babies in the competition,
Followed by
at a mere 23 years old. He's gone 5.55 for his jumps. See what he can do with this.
change is possible for the big group.
Stop. Press.
That's a tough one. That was a fight. Yeah, one blue for downward movement. I did wonder if we might have seen more, but
I think it's a little bit tight. It's a bit of when one side comes up a little bit early to the second, it's sometimes difficult to see whether the bar goes up and down or whether it just one side is moving. But you got
Yeah.
to play with it.
202.5 kilo, master 3.
And here he is,
Come on,
David
big
Ricks.
big hand here for Ricks, baby.
Could have gone for 200 to break the record, but why break a record with a mere 200? You tell that bar who's boss, David.
This will be record number 2 of the day for David if he gets it.
Still taking names and breaking records at 63 years old.
Stop. Press. Right.
And you just know he's going to be walking away going, I should have gone 205. Bit of a high five for the referees. He can't find the last one.
205
There he is.
This is a new personal best.
And look at this. No real problem with it moving at all. Doesn't stop.
The bar is loaded for
Super comfortable. Looked like a second, really.
That is awesome.
Come on, Oshie. Give big hand here. You personal best of that.
I'd shake his hand, but I'd get covered in chalk. Right, so our bench specialist all the way from Oz. 205 for Brady Cochran.
This might, this is a big lift because not many huge benches here. This might even put him in the mix for a medal with the evening session, dependent on what people go for.
Yeah, my money's on Rick's being up for a medal, definitely, in the evening session on bench. Boy's a monster. Oh no.
Just push the wrong way a little bit. When you push in, you want to push back towards the rack, and he just managed to push
Yeah.
up and out, and he just couldn't recover it.
Once that happens, it's game over.
62.5 kilo is his personal best.
Right, so that's flight 1 done. Flight 2 now begins with Matt Lewis Vayner, Canada, 150.
Canada, 150 kilo, followed by Hofer and Castro.
Now the open record is 238. I'd be surprised if anyone troubles that looking at the openers. Nobody opening higher than 190.
Yeah. I think we'll see that record broken in the evening session today, though.
I do hope so. I think we've had a world record broken in every session so far at this World Championships. Just proving that the sport is going up and up and up.
Yeah. Standard this year, and the depth of all the fields is just incredibly impressive.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? And youngsters coming through who are just knocking aside multiple world champions like they're skittles.
Very easy opener for Matt.
Well, he's got a yellow from the centre referee. I wonder what that's for.
Mr. Commander, maybe?
Yeah. Hard to tell on the replay because we don't hear the commands, but as long as he's only got one red light and a yellow card, then that's good enough. Right, here's René Hofer.
60 kilo, followed by Castro and Choco. Come on, René, come on!
160 for the Austrian.
Let's see how this moves.
Jawohl from the Austrian coach. pretty nicely.
Nice and quick, that one.
167.5 kilo on the bar. His personal best is 118.
Yeah, good work for Hofer. There's not much I can say about that, really. That's what a bench should look like. Okay, the height monster from Spain, Castro.
You'll often find sort of bench press lifters are a little bit more subdued, focusing a little bit more.
Much more technical.
Yeah.
You watch him when it comes to deadlift, though. Interesting, he's quite asymmetrical on the legs there. Clearly works for him.
Yeah, he is actually. He's quite almost sideways on the bench.
Yep. I'm not going to knock it.
His personal best is 185.
Certainly works for him benching 167.5.
Guys loaded for Suko Pascal, Germany, 170
Right,
kilo,
Suko, Germany.
followed by Pickering and Van Bishop.
One of the bigger squatters in the
Come
group.
on, Pascal, do shove stand, come on!
Yeah,
Followed by Pickering
not
and
the
Van
greatest
Bishop.
bencher, but he's up there with the deadlifts as well. He's opening at 300, or so far anyway. They do have an option to change their opener. We always hope it goes up.
Press. Right.
That looked
Good
great.
lift, 172.5 kilo on the back.
Business as usual.
His personal best is 185. The bar is loaded for Pickering, William, Great Britain,
Yeah,
172.
not a lot of movement in the body there.
Followed by
Great
Bishop
press.
and Fuller.
Well,
Come on, William.
172.5.
See what he can do. He's just taking a moment to compose himself.
Yeah, you got a minute to get the start command, so plenty of time. Like you said, you don't want to use all of it just in case you've got have to re-rack the bar for some reason.
Yeah, you never want to hear those words, replace the bar,
No.
because that's a world of trouble then.
Stop. Press. Right.
Nice and easy.
Yeah, look good, and we're wrong. Now what moved there?
1.5 kilo on the back.
I think the bum came up.
Yeah.
We have that white light on the other side of the bench so it can be seen, and I think we did see a little bit of daylight through there, so
Guys loaded, Van Bishop, Richard
Is that what that light is for?
it is. That is exactly what that light is for. That's so so we can see on the camera, and so the replay camera can see if the light shines through. Mainly for the jury's benefit, but it does help us out as well because we get that replay. Right, here's Bazuyan. 177.5 for him. Yeah, I bet the benchers hate that light. Now you know you're not keen on it, are you? No.
Glad I knew that after I lifted, not before.
No kicking it over now.
Stop. Press. Right.
Yes, chief referee, please push the button. Good lift.
Yeah, great lift for Bazuyan.
2.5 kilo.
I didn't want to put on the commentator's curse by saying it looked good until I'd seen the lights go, but yeah, that looked fine.
For Fulham, Adam, Great Britain, 182.5 kilo.
Right, here's Adam.
Sylvie and Gia.
182.5.
After the bench press, we will have 10 minutes break. Just for your information.
So this moves for Adam. PB at 190, so should be comfortable.
Should be.
Stop. Press.
Good lift.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
190 kilo on the bar. This is the
smooth.
same as his personal best.
Nice arch too. I'm sure he'll thank us for that when he hears the replay later.
Nice low
Right,
lift
here's Tamasebi.
for Tamasebi, Mini Iran.
Tamasebi just managed to get his third squat in, so he's still in the game, trying to build that total.
Yeah, didn't have the best day on the squat, but strong bencher though, with an opener of 190.
Yeah, he's a good all-rounder. He's projected first in these two groups, so he's going to want to add as many kilos as he can to place as high as he can.
Looks like he's a deadlifter though, so he's
Yeah.
always nice to be a deadlifter. You can make up some ground. It's worrying to make up the ground on the squat and bench and then be looking behind you and seeing people catch you up. But
Definitely know how that feels.
I thought you might. That's good though. That's a good lift.
190 kilos still on the bar. Nice
So,
low lift for Gear
same weight for Thomas Gear, Canada.
190 kilo, 10 kilo below his personal
Yeah,
best,
that looked
followed
absolutely
by
fine.
Luis and Hofer.
So he's done well to put the nightmare of squats behind him and just come out and rip off a nice bench.
Yeah, that's the psychology of sports sometimes, not letting that drag you down.
Yeah, you can't change it, so why worry about it?
Stop. Press. Right.
Very nice opener, that.
Yeah, great job by Gear.
Plenty left for him to grow.
So nearly everyone's got one in, but except Pickering.
It seemed Will Pickering's bench seemed comfortable. Just a technicality of the bum, it seemed like.
Yeah,
Lifting the bench.
it is the most technical lift
157.5 kilo.
with the most commands
His personal best is
and a lot more ways to fail as well.
Yeah, and a lot more can go wrong. That isn't strength. You know, like deadlifts, squats, sometimes it happens, but not as often. Where bench press, you can fire a lift up and still not actually achieve.
Replace.
Again, has to replace the bar.
I mean, he's got 30 seconds, so
Just needs to cover the rings. So there's some rings on the bar, and they need to be covered.
Stop.
so he obviously thrives on a wide grip. Reduces the range of motion, does engage different muscles, but no, all in a day's work. That doesn't seem to be an issue for Luis Vena.
Yeah, you know you got more in there if you have to unrack it, re-rack it, unrack it again, then press it, all in the minute time slot you've got.
Yeah, and sometimes a minute can last forever, but when you're out on the bench, it flies by like nobody's business.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, here comes René Hofer of Austria. He's only gone up 5,
Come on, René.
but again, one of the stronger deadlifters on nominated openers. So
Yeah, you usually see in the 93 kilo class a lot of big deadlifters. It's usually they're a little bit taller, a little bit longer arms.
yeah, the balance starts to tip in favour of squat once you get over the 93s, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Press. Right.
Nice.
Yeah, great.
Good lift. 172.5 kilo on the bar.
Will Pickering next, so
Missed
Will
the
miss
first
this
one.
on his opener.
Support Great Britain.
Just needs to keep his bum down.
Nice low lift for Pickering,
Yeah, work to do.
Great Britain.
I'm sure Paul Marsh from Great Britain, who's his coach there, has had a few quiet words.
Come on, Great Britain.
A very calm man.
Can't you need this one?
There we see Paul. Okay, Will, come on. This shouldn't be tough for him, really. As you say, just a technicality.
Stop. Press. Right.
Three
Yeah.
lights.
Good lift.
Good lad.
175 kilo on the bar.
It's always good to retake. You know, is don't want to risk jumping up and then making it too hard for yourself. Managed to nail that one.
Yeah, different in a quick bench where you can do all sorts of things with the shirt, but in raw lifting,
Yeah.
if you've not managed something, don't try something harder. There's usually only one way that can go.
Come on, Pascal.
Okay, here's Sukov, Germany, 175.
So gets on with this, 5 kilos from his opener. His conservative jump.
Stop. Press.
Good lift.
Very nice.
175 kilos still on the bar. These are 5 kilos below his personal best. It's loaded for Castro, Ruben.
Yeah, it didn't look easy. I'd be surprised if he goes up more than 2.5 for his next one.
Yeah. Castro now. Growled into the bench.
Yeah, a bit of a roar there. And again, we see that asymmetric. I wonder.
Yeah, personally, I'm not sure if. I wonder if he's got say, impingement or something, maybe.
Stop. Press.
Vai, accelera, 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 accelera ancora!
Right.
Again, though,
Good lift.
good lift. If it works for him, I ain't going to criticise.
Yeah.
On the bar.
I think sometimes over time, the more and more you lift, the more and more you train, the years you get in, you sort of end up thinking, well, if I try the technical model and it doesn't work, but I might be an outlier.
Exactly. It's all very well people saying that this is perfect technique, but if it doesn't work for you, then... Okay, here's Richard van Bezoyen.
2.5 kilos below his personal best, followed by Fuller and Tamazebi.
Plenty of chalk on the shoulders. Even though that Aleco bench has a... I don't think you can quite see it there, but it does have a patch that is supposed to support the shoulders. The last thing you want is for your shoulders to slide on the bench.
Yeah, you'd rather be overly stuck than sliding off for sure. But that new pad is
Stop.
very, very supportive.
Press. Right.
Good lift.
Yeah, great job for Richard.
7.5 kilos. This is also 2.5 kilos below his personal best.
So Adam.
Yeah, just a 5 kilo jump for Adam. Next out.
I think it's one of those where Adam missed his last squat, so sort of think you got to readjust the plan sometimes and just get as many kilos on your total as you can.
Yeah, powerlifting is, after all, a numbers game.
Yeah. Usually, you know, the more lifts you get, the more successful you're going to be at an international stage.
Sounds obvious, but
Stop. Press. Right.
Maybe it works through the middle, but powers it up.
yeah, blue from the centre referee, but it's 2-1's good enough.
Usually blue from the centre is probably going to be elbows, just being maybe a little bit soft either on lockout or around the start command.
Yeah,
See, the centre ref has a lot better view of the elbows.
yeah. Plus they're not focusing on all the
Yeah.
other points of contact. Right, Tamasebi. Last two lifts in this second round, both at the same weight, 197.5 kilos. Tamasebi, and he'll be followed by Gear. Nobody's getting near David Ricks' 202.5 so far, though, are they?
No.
Stop. Press.
Today.
That's a shame. In retrospect, that's probably a bit of a big jump, but You don't know till you try.
Hindsight's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, and we're equipped with 2020 on the in the commentary booth here. But right, so Thomas Gear, same weight, 197.5.
Let's see how this moves. I think he might. He's got the body weight on David Ricks, so get this and maybe just take 202.
Stop. Press.
Backward.
Right.
You'd want to beat a guy more than twice your age on more than body weight, though, wouldn't you? But no, that's so something moved there. I'm guessing.
Yeah, that bum. Just
There it was.
Came up quite a lot actually.
There was your favourite light.
This round we have 10 minutes break.
No, you don't put the black one for 57.
Black one.
Right, so pretty close, but Ricks is top of the pile. Still, can anyone topple him?
We do have another 8 lifters in the evening session, but
We do.
those guys are going to be fighting for overall medal positions. So maybe one of these guys can nick a medal. Like you said, we've had it in every group so far.
We have.
Nice to keep the trend going.
I'm going to display a little bit of bias here and say it'd be absolutely awesome to see David Ricks on that podium for bench.
Backward. Back. Good.
Right.
Good to see the Masters 3 whites there.
Life in an old dog yet, as they say.
Yeah.
Well,
This is also the same as his personal
can't
best.
fault that for Lewis Vayner.
It's loaded for Hofer René, Austria, 167.5 kilos.
Here's René Hofer.
Same as his
Equal
personal
PB,
best, followed by
but
Sukov and
like you said,
Castro.
Joe, PBs on a international competition are almost just a complete different thing than they are on a divisional and national level.
Yeah, we've heard it said so many times, I've done it in the gym. Yeah, you've done it in the gym with your favourite music on, with your mates all around you in a happy place. And this is a world apart, quite literally.
Stop. Press.
Zukunft. Jawohl.
Right.
Comfortable.
Yep,
Good lift.
and the referees agree with us.
100.
That's a great lift for Hofer.
This is 5 kilos below his personal best.
Next 3 lifters now are going to be going for 180. Like a big milestone number, 180.
Loaded for Sukov Pascal, 180 kilo, followed by Castro.
So here's Suko.
180 is a big bench in pretty much any weight class, so to be 93 kilos and pressing it, pretty good going.
He's firing himself up. Interested in using the safety racks to get in position, but whatever works for you. We've seen all sorts of things. We see people come into the bench from the front and then slide into it like they're getting into the cockpit of a fighter jet. Whatever works for you. At this point, it's all about the ritual, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a great fight from Suko.
What do the refs say?
Yeah.
He just took it up a notch. So then, you know, his second lift was a little bit slow, and he just knew he had to bring it.
Yeah, he's been quite calm so far, hasn't he? But he had the fire when he needed it.
Bene, setup giusto, prendi il tuo tempo.
Talking
And as I'm
about-
sure you could already hear, that's Castro coming out.
I'm looking forward to seeing him deadlift. I think we'll have a bit of a show when Castro comes out.
I think we will.
Per andare sotto. Sì.
And it's all looking
Più sotto
quite
possibile.
close on
Sì, questo,
prognosis. So,
Questo, Ruben.
although it is only the B group, these guys are going to treat it like a top level fight. Oh, that's a shame.
Not today.
Yeah, if it's going to go though, it's going to be the third.
Yeah, like you said, you know, these guys will be fighting out. You want to win the B group almost. Sure, that's That's something that you'd be proud of once you get to the end of the deadlifts.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, for all you know, you might win the B group and then everybody in the A group bombs. It's unlikely.
Got to play your own game and hope for the best.
Absolutely. Just push it as far as you can. Right, so I think Will's looking to make up a bit of ground here with this 180. Would you say?
Yeah, his PB's 85. He probably would have gone 72, 77, 82 maybe. So maybe sort of meeting halfway in the middle. We'll see.
Okay, let's see what the lights say. Oh, it's a shame.
One for bum and then maybe up and down. Let's have a look.
No, definitely the bump.
Not quite sure what the blue was for.
Right. We're away from the 180s, the 182s now, so 190 for Bazuyan. Van Bazuyan, I'm sorry. Never steal a Dutchman's van. No, that's a real shame.
Just see his elbows just flared a little bit early off the chest. When that happens, you get halfway up and it's a real big battle. You see they just kick
Yeah,
back.
you're right.
When your elbows are under and behind the bar, it's a really, really hard work to bring them back and finish the movement off.
Right, what's Adam got then?
192.5 would be a PB for Adam this. Building that total up.
Come on.
Adam, this is going to give him another 5. Build to his total. Sure, Adam would want to try and close in on that 800 or get as close as he can.
Oh, he absolutely will, yeah. Again, 800 is a special number.
Yeah. No, not quite, unfortunately.
Oh, that's a shame.
No lift.
See who's disappointed.
97.5 kilo on the bar. That's a new personal
Right.
best.
Now, this is Tamasebi coming up for 197.5. Didn't get it previously, so...
The bar is loaded for Tamasebi.
But he did press it, didn't he? It was just that it was a technical fail.
I actually think he missed this on strength.
New personal
You think?
best.
Yeah, I think I remember it was because remember we saying the
Come on, people,
7.5
if
kilo
we
jump
can
was quite a big
clear.
one.
Trying into
You're right.
personal best.
Well, all he can do now is fire himself up and hope he gets it.
Quite a lot of raw power, so hopefully he can just hit his line right and get it on this one. Let's see. Self lift off. No, unfortunately
No,
not.
shame.
No lift. And we're coming to the last bench. Press in this group here.
One more to go then.
Yeah, Thomas Gear of Canada. Same weight, right? 197.5.
The second one as well.
But David Ricks is going to take the win in the bench press for this group.
Yep, the provisional win.
The provisional win, yes.
Come on, Thomas, come on.
With 8 lifters to go this evening. He'll be hoping he can sneak on the podium, possibly.
As I say, a little bit biased, but I'd love to see it. Well. Yes, look at that.
Tidy.
If at second you don't succeed, have another go.
The new personal best.
As the saying doesn't go. Well, that's been an interesting round of bench press. We'll be back in 10 minutes to settle the scores with the deadlifts. Okay, so we're back. As you can see, the stage is set, the platform is set up for the deadlifts. So we had quite an interesting bench session. Quite a few people had a bit of trouble with their third, as expected, but David Ricks, I mean, I could go on. There aren't really enough superlatives for David. At age, what, 63 years old? Way, way older than anybody else. Taking a record in his squat and his bench. He's really quite something. So, deadlifts now, where we settle all the scores.
Yeah, this is where people will be jostling for positions, getting as many kilos onto the total as possible.
Trying to, as you said, win the B group.
Yeah, we got a couple of big deadlifters in here, up to 320 opener at one point. So it's gonna build as much as they can. We got some big deadlifters in the evening flight later on as well. So it's just got to secure what you can do now. This is the goal.
Interesting that because the temperature difference here in South Africa is very, very different. We're seeing like 1920s during the day, but as we're approaching sunset now, it's going to be a lot cooler in the evening. It's down to like, what, 2, 3 at night maybe? So that might give the A group a bit of an advantage.
Yeah, I definitely felt that competing in the evening yesterday. The temperature drop-off was quite rapid as well. It went from feeling quite nice to actually having to warm up sort of in a jumper for a little bit.
Yeah, can't be easy, but I don't know. Would you say it's easier to lift when it's cooler?
I think sort of it's one of those things where you've just got to, no matter what it is, I think cooler is probably better actually, but you've just got to. Everyone's in the same position. That's what I always think. So.
That's right. Yeah. Okay, Rafi Dio, New Zealand, 260 for his opener for him.
See how this goes. So I always think open nice and light on your deadlifts, secure the total. Much easier to take bigger jumps on the deadlifts than it is on something like a bench press.
Yeah, the least technical lift and probably the easiest one to understand for non-powerlifters. You just pick it up, wait till you get told to put it down again. It's a little more technical than that, but that's essentially it.
Chest down!
Down.
Nice.
Yeah, good. I think Dio rocked that one.
265 kilo on the bar. His personal best is 312.5.
265 for David Ricks now. Again, we might see a M3 world record that stands at 287.5 right now.
Yeah, the open record's at 373. That's going to be a bit of a scratch.
I wouldn't put it off David to give it a try.
No, he doesn't seem to be concerned about limits. We're seeing that classic setup from David, roaring at the bar.
This actually will give him a total M3 world record.
He's not afraid to open on a record, is he?
No.
Well, that looked good.
Yep.
Yeah. So, just another world record for David Ricks. Just all in a day's work. Here's Nkosinathi, South Africa.
South Africa, 270 kilo. Followed by Lupo and Essen.
This is
Come on, Natty.
first year of competing, and he's already on the international stage, and definitely sort of got the biomechanics to be a good deadlifter.
Yeah, you want long arms and short everything else, don't you?
Yeah.
Not as easy to reduce the range of motion on the deadlift.
Down.
Breathe out at the top.
Yeah.
Lift. 270
Good job for
kilos
him.
still on the bar. His personal best is 295.
Actually, his
The bar
legs
is
are quite
loaded
long,
for
but he's got
Lupo
very short
Lorenzo,
torso, so
Italy, followed by Excellence and Kosra.
Here's Lupo of Italy. 270.
Lupo's had a pretty good day so far. Just missed one bench, but everything else has been really tidy.
Where's his belt quite high? You know, you do see that sometimes. What do you think the advantage is there?
A lot of the times, that's a nice looking opener. A lot of the times you'll see lifters say that if they feel like their upper back is a little bit weak or they feel their upper back crumbles, the belt can sort of stop that from happening.
Yeah, and that is the SBD belt, which is arguably the best in the world. It is a fantastic piece of kit.
Definitely unforgiving. If you want it for that reason, it's going to do your job for you.
Right, here's Rob Esselens of Belgium. Belt in a more conventional position for Rob.
Yeah, that's where most people wear it. Just easy to brace into, really push in.
Yeah, you kind of brace your core against it, don't you?
Yeah, it gives you that little help of get a little pop off the floor when you wedge into the bar. Just like Rob did there.
Yeah, good stuff for Rob.
177.5 kilos. His personal best is 305.
Yeah, nothing much to say about that, apart from that it was very nice. Right, Brodie Cochrane, Oz. Being very familiar, Australia, but known as the Aussies.
Guys loaded for Cochrane, Brodie, Australia. 177.5 kilo. Followed by
I wondered if the TC was holding him there for something, but I don't think he was. Technical controller, of course, his job is to make sure that the lifters are set up right. They've got the long socks on. Long socks are there so that if you do pull the bar up against your shins, you don't hurt yourself and therefore contaminate the bar for the next lifter.
Very, very easy opener, that one.
Didn't seem to have talked his legs actually, which is
Yeah.
unusual.
280 kilo on the bar.
But great lift for him anyway.
Is 287.5.
He does slide the bar up his legs, so
Maybe
The
just
bar is loaded for Karasson
Simple as.
Alexander, Iceland. 280 kilo. Followed by
280 for the next two
Suruya
lifters now.
and Dio.
So Karasson of Iceland.
see how this moves. A really solid bench, 190.
He's been pretty impressive throughout, really.
Yeah, he's a young lifter, still sort of a junior, or sort of just out of the juniors.
Yeah, 23 is the oldest you can be as a junior.
Comfortable.
Good lift.
Yeah, good job for Karasson.
80 kilo on the bar. His personal best is 301.5 and the bar is loaded for Suruya Shimon, Japan. Come on. 180 kilos.
280.
Followed by Dio.
Yeah, way below his PB, which is 301.5. Must have taken that with a record somewhere.
It's real strong quads.
Yeah, look at those.
I think we're going to see a really technical sumo pull here. Getting that leg drive. Nice.
Yeah.
It's got that close stance, you know, close to the stance, hitting the quads.
The second round.
And as you said, they really are quite some quads. Right. Round two already. It's flying
Yeah.
by. $270 for Dio. Just cleaning the bar. We do that in between each lift on the third round, but if I'm right, the coach can request that from the technical controller, who will ask the centre ref.
Dio Rafi, New Zealand, 270 kilo.
does help a lot as well. You know, you don't nothing worse than missing a lift because you feel like there's a little bit too much torque on the bar, and it just slips out your hands.
Or talc, even worse.
Yeah. The Eleiko bar is a very, very strong knurling, so it's quite difficult for it to drop out your hands. But if there's a little bit of talc on there from a previous lifter, that's when you might be in trouble.
I mean, these guys are right on the cutting edge of performance here, so any tiny thing can make a massive difference. New Zealand coaches have been on point all week.
Good! Chest out! Chest out!
What do the refs say?
Yeah, it was a slow lockout, but good.
Round 85 kilo on the bar. This is 10 kilo below his personal best.
See him get those shoulders back. Right, what's Lupo got then?
By Slowder for Lupo Lorenzo.
Went out for 285.
Andiamo Lorenzo. Followed by Excellence and Naki.
Not the most technical deadlift setup we've seen.
Seems to work though.
Yep, whatever's good for you.
Lubo's been really tidy with everything. All three just super efficient.
By Slowder for Excellence Rob Belgium. 285 kilo. Followed by Naki and Rick.
Comes Rob.
Come on, Rob. Come on.
A lot of support from the crowd for Rob.
Yeah, popular guy. Happy guy.
Who wouldn't be happy if they're deadlifting, right?
Worst ways to spend a day. Let's see if he can set this nice.
Not the easiest second attempt, but
Really explosive off the floor, and then it just sort of brakes came on a little bit at the knees, but he managed to pull his hips through.
yeah, showed some determination there. Right, here's Nkosi Nati.
Taking a 20 kilo jump.
Yep, bigger than some we've seen. Mind you, Ricks at the end of the round is taking a 25 kilo jump. But, I mean, he's David Ricks, right? The normal rules don't apply to him. Okay, what's Nkosi Nati got?
What to say about that?
Not the tidiest, but good enough.
It's just going to be making sure that, so as we see here, just see nearly a little bit of sort of ramping, getting his feet under. He managed to hold it. Just needs to be careful on his last one.
Yeah, it did look like he was tending towards like pushing the bar up with his thighs.
Yeah, you're not allowed to do that.
You are absolutely not. And here he is, the legend. This will be a deadlift record and a total record for David Ricks.
This will mean David, if he gets this, would have taken all 4 possible M4 records in one competition.
And had a crack at the Open, the M1 and the M2 as well.
He's definitely still got some life in him for sure. Great to see him on the Open stage.
Yes, come on.
Well. Oh. 2-1.
So just watch as the bar comes up. He just sort of misses that lockout, I think. His knees are a little bit soft, maybe.
Yeah.
Just wasn't convincing enough, unfortunately.
No, well, you know, he got his 265 in. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes for anything more than 290, but
Nah, I think take that again, seal the record. He's strong enough for it.
Let's see what Brody's got.
Brody's opener was very, very fast. He's got some talc on his legs this time.
He has. Perhaps he heard us.
Yeah.
Went into the back and went, geez, mate, I've forgotten the tell.
It's like he's in the room.
But just as good as the last one to me.
Good one, good lift.
Centre ref didn't like something.
95 kilos still on the back.
Let's see what that was for.
Nice loaded for Tsuruya Shimon, Japan.
Not certain, but 2 to 1 is a good lift.
Yeah.
So here's Soraya, taking his mask off this time. He pulled his first one with his mask still on. I mean, not like respiration makes much difference. You take one big breath.
What the ref say?
Yeah, nothing wrong there. Really impressed. So technical, Soraya.
Holds his position so well off the floor. So much patience.
In fact, I think that was a better lift than his last one, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I agree with that.
His last one, there was the thighs kind of quivered a little bit as he came to the top.
That's a new personal best.
Right, so first man to go for 300 now. This is Karason of Iceland.
Yeah, he's having a great day. This is sort of absolutely smashes total PB. So he's really working through his progress.
Yeah, when you're that young, you know, PBs come thick and fast, don't they?
Yeah, you can move from the B group to the A group pretty quickly from year to year. You just got to keep chipping away at that total. See what the refs say.
He looks happy with it.
Thought his shoulders looked a little bit soft at the top, just sort of, but he's good enough.
You're right. Right, so third round for Rapidio. Now this is where they can make changes based on what other people have done. I wonder how much of that is going to happen here, seeing as we're not seeing the real total. These guys are fighting against an A group that hasn't yet lifted.
Yeah, it's really difficult to sort of judge anything. You might see it if you want to possibly, you know, try and get top of this group to give you the best chance of the highest place in the next group, but I don't think we're going to see too many changes. We can hope for some drama then. Who knows?
Don't
He
stop!
doesn't love a deadlift battle, right?
Don't stop! Don't stop!
Great fight.
Oh,
I think it's gone down.
he's looked all over the place for inspiration, but I don't think he quite found any.
To be fair, he made the right choice of just putting his head down and pretending he's locked it out.
Oh, so Iceland has been overruled, I'm afraid. Karason's 300 is no lift. So he'd put in 307.5 for his third. I don't know whether they'll change that now. Right, David Ricks, second attempt at 290 for the Master 3 deadlift record and the total record. It was nearly there last time.
Yeah, he just needs to be a bit more convincing with the lockout. Just it's one of those where sometimes you try and make the movement as little as possible, shorten the range, and you just get caught out. I'm sure he's going to come back and smash this time.
I bet he's going to shout at the bar a little bit more as well.
Come on, you can do it.
And the bar's not usually frightened of anybody. If it is going to be frightened of anybody, it'd be Ricks.
unfortunately not.
Lockout.
Yeah.
I think that's a real shame, but you know, he nearly took all the records.
Yeah.
That 265 opener was sensible though.
Yeah.
3 attempts to change the note for the beagle.
He's on the board with it, got his total. Has to walk away with 3 records, not 4, but
It's a nice problem to have, right? Right, so Lupo.
Eyes loaded from Lupo Lorenzo.
Jumped
Italy,
7.5.
292.5 kilo.
I think that's a
2.5 kilo
decent
below
jump.
his personal best. Followed by Excellence and
hit
Patterson.
295 before. So he's not far off, but that travel, etc., like we've said, is probably a good choice.
Yeah, he's come from Italy, so he's come the same distance we have.
Very nice.
Well, yeah.
He's happy with that one.
He is now. 3 white lights for him.
292.5 kilo. This is the same as his personal best. 2 attempts to change the
Yeah, I
number
can't fault
for
that
the
at all.
beagle.
Look just like the other two, really.
So Rob's coming out now. See him in the wings.
And the bar is loaded for
Looking a little bit
Excellence from
contemplative.
Belgium. 292.5 kilo. Same as his personal best. Come on, Rob. Come on.
Psyching himself up.
Patterson and Nati.
We often see people do that. Just make sure that the bar is exactly where they want it. Conventional pull as well.
Just needs to stick with it from the knees. He's nice and powerful off the floor.
Oh, come on, Rob.
Great fight.
Yes. See what the refs think, but yes. 2-1.
300 kilo.
Very nice.
This is a new personal best. He missed the second
So
one.
he's shot off the floor. It's just got to be patient
The
here.
second one was overruled by the jury. So give him if he can to make sure he managed.
Nice, Rob. Be happy with that one.
Yeah, I think so. Right, Karason of Iceland. So his 300 was overruled on the last attempt.
Shoulders weren't quite back, so sure he'll get it this time.
Yeah, hopefully he's not going to make the same mistake twice.
Followed by Nati and Kosha. Come on, you can do it better. Big hand, please. Come on, Alexander.
So it was quite near the plates there. You don't want to drop the plates onto your feet, do you? It's always a risk with sumo, but no, I think that was more convincing.
And look better.
And that's a new name,
Yes.
and a new personal best. 300 kilos still on the back. No more change is possible for the beagle.
It's a great part about international lifting. You know, you get the highest quality referees, and he'll go back and probably never make that mistake again of making sure they get their shoulders back every time.
Exactly. It's an expensive place to learn, but
So 300 kilos now.
yeah, Nkosi Nathi.
For Nati Tuli, South Africa. 300 kilo, new personal best attempt. Come on, people from South Africa. Give big support here.
Got to get this one. He's got to go back and explain to Hank why he didn't. Not a move I'd want to make.
See how this goes. Oh, I just couldn't get it over the knees.
Shame.
No lift. 302.5.
And I'd say it was a reasonable jump, but strength just wasn't there, was it?
That happens sometimes, unfortunately.
This is 2.5 kilo below his personal.
Yeah, you never know. Sorry, you never know until you try, and unfortunately, he found out the hard way. Right, Brodie Cochrane, Australia. 302.5.
Nice loaded for Kosran
Below his
Robbie,
stated
Australia.
PB, but
202.5 kilo. 2.5 kilo below his personal best.
It's a comfortable jump. His second looked good.
Come on, Ronnie.
Only 7.5 kilos from his second, so let's see what this is.
Come on!
just using all the time he's got available. Yeah,
Nice.
good. He wasn't counting his chickens before they were hatched, was he? You look at this. He wasn't sure, was he, at the top? Good lift, though. Right, Soraya, 310. Gone up 15. So he's a 15 and a 15 jump.
His second looked really good. His first looked a little bit shaky, but nailed his second one, so we'll see what he can do here. Last deadlift of this round, and then we're going to go into the next group.
Should get a medal just for those quads, to be honest. And the VMOs. But this isn't a bodybuilding competition. This is definitely 3-lift powerlifting.
He just lost his position.
Bent the bar but didn't move the plates.
No lift.
Straight when those hips shoot up, you know, you're in trouble.
Yeah. Nowhere to go, really. Right. So, we predicted this was going to be a noisy one. Ruben Rodriguez Castro of Spain. Just rolling the bar backwards to get out of all that talc and chalk, which is a good strategic move.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
Happy with that one.
Shot right up, didn't it?
Yeah, that was quick. Where you see some big jumps from Castro, I think. So we got one of the GB team now, Adam. 290.
Yeah, stated PB of 317.5, so conservative opener. Don't want to throw it away on the deadlift.
No.
Well, you don't want to throw it away anywhere, but particularly on the deadlift. You've come so far and then... Nice.
Find deadlifts as well are a little bit easier to take those bigger jumps on. You know, it's squat, if you take those bigger jumps, it's a bit of a shock to the system when you're lifting the bar out of the rack, but deadlifts are a little bit more forgiving.
Yeah, you do have a bit longer to think about it, don't you?
Yeah.
You unwrap the bar and go, oh, that feels heavy. Uh-oh. And you've already had time to put yourself off. But with deadlift, once it's moving, there's no time for thinking. You just got to keep pulling. Matt Lewis Vayner, Canada, 290. After Lewis Vayner and Suckout, everyone else is opening over 300. And there's that characteristic slow but steady move from Lewis Vayner.
He's been doing that all day. It's really nice to see the way he just wedges into the bar, patience off the floor, and then drives his hips through.
Yeah, that was nice to see. Right, so here's Pascal Succo, Germany.
Pascal, Germany, 295 kilo. His personal best is 312.5, followed by Gear and Van Bezoy.
Saw him in the break, just casually chatting away to a couple of the German team, as though he wasn't in the middle of a World Championships.
Just taking his time to get the bar where he wants.
I'm not sure if it actually moved very far, but as long as he thinks he's got it where he wants it, then that's the main thing. Lifting with a watch on as well, you know, those extra 25 grams.
Very, very snappy. Really nice deadlift.
Yeah, good stuff.
300 kilo on the bag. His personal best is 325. Guys loaded for Gear Thomas, Canada, 300 kilo, followed by...
So Thomas Gear, first man with 300 as his opener.
We can be ready when we hand over the participation medal.
5 guys opening over 300 now.
To hand over the participation medal.
See what the refs do with that one.
Yeah, nice.
Just wondering whether his knees were a little bit soft, but clearly not.
Yeah, could just be the angle.
Yeah.
We're a long way away from the platform.
Referees definitely have a better view than we do.
They absolutely do. Best seats in the house. All right, Richard van Bezuyen, 302.5, 667 pounds.
Very smooth.
Yep, no issues from the Dutchman.
305 kilo on the back. His personal best is 317.5.
Thighs just came forward a little bit, but that's after the knees have gone back, so you don't catch it on your kneecaps. It's not something you want to do. Right, what's the Austrian got then? Hofer. 305. 2 guys going for this, and then Tamasebi is going for 307. Now Tamasebi's put that opener down. I think he had it at 320 initially, so maybe he didn't feel so good in warm-up, or maybe that was just a bluff. Anyway, let's focus on Hofer.
Please close the door behind you. Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah, great job.
Good lift. 305 kilo on the back.
Will Pickering next. 305 on the bar for him.
Yeah, same weight.
Is it not a bad day today, Will? Just a couple of technical issues. It's one of those where just going to take that on the chin and just work with what you got now.
Bear in mind he's only 25, so he's still learning his trade. Years competing 5, which sounds like a long time, but compared to some of these guys,
compared to David Ricks' 41.
41, yeah. He's seen it all. Okay, come on, Will, what have you got?
Let's go.
Good.
Did move very quickly. Yeah.
307.5. I think this is probably the right move, just dropping that down, whether it was a bluff or just not feeling great. And he had a little bit of trouble with his squats. Only got 1 bench in, so
Yeah, it's the best move, isn't it?
you want to make sure you get a total, and because you're last out on the deadlift, you can always, you know, try and stay there and then just put on, like you said earlier, you know, you have some chances to change your 3rd deadlift.
Yeah,
So-
lowest lot number as well.
Yeah. Plenty of time to build the total. Don't need to do that on your first.
No. As a wise man once said, there's 3 reasons why you bomb out: opening too heavy, and of course, opening too heavy. Let's hope he's not done that.
Yeah, 2-1.
Yeah, well, good choice. I think he might have had a problem at 320 for an opener.
Yeah.
His personal best is 310.
Stick on the bar what he wants now, and everyone's got a total in
Yep.
this group, which is good.
Always nice to see. Even as a lifter, you don't really want to beat somebody because they bombed out. You want to beat them fair and square, because they've done their best and you've done yours, and yours was better. I mean, you'll take it as a win, but it's not the one you'd be happy with. Right, so Matt Lewis Vayner. Here he is, coming for 300 kilos. Nothing seems to rattle him, does it? Very, very calm.
Just not much in the tank. You got a long way to travel from Canada. Maybe it's sort of just taking the edge off him. He's got another try at that.
He has. Here comes the noise. 20 kilo jump for Castro.
His opener was very, very fast there.
It was, it was. 5 reds and change on each end of the bar. It's nice to see.
Come sempre, come sempre. Sì, bravo, 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 bravo.
I would agree with his coach there. Now that moved just as quickly as the first one, didn't it?
Yeah, really, really nice. His pull's looking good today.
Where's he going to go next? Well, we'll find out soon. Right, what's Adam got? Adam Fulak now. He's gone up again, jumped 20 to 310.
I think these guys now will be quite close, really, at the top of the standings, and everyone's going to want to try and be the first place leading into the evening session, just in case.
Yep.
I can't hear you.
I think in the B group, if you manage to out-total someone in the A group, I feel like you've achieved your job.
Exactly, yeah. You want to kind of say, see, told you I should have been in the A group. Yep, very nice for Adam.
15 kilo on the back. This is a new personal best.
Yeah, still plenty in the tank there, I think.
Yeah, not much to say about that really, which is probably what the lifters want. They don't want us talking about, oh well, he could have done this, and maybe you missed that. No, just, yeah, good pull, that'll do. Pascal Succo, Germany.
Pascal's was very quick as well.
It was.
Really, really snappy lockout.
Oh, he's cracked his face, look, there you go. Asking for a bit of support from the crowd. Again, taking the standard 20 kilo jump. Yeah, Castro's gone up 20 kilos again for his third, so expect some noise when he comes out for that one. Again, quick.
Yeah. Sort of one of those where you're that fast at the lockout, sometimes it bobbles a bit and it looks like your shoulders aren't fully locked out. That's what he got that red for, I think.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, at this weight, you're starting to see a little bit of spring in the bar. And the speed will accentuate that. What do they say? You're not trying unless the bar's bending. Thomas Gear, 3:15. Oh,
Down.
didn't look great at the top.
Yeah.
No. Blues, downward movement, right?
Yeah, I think downward movement, and I think his knees were a little bit soft as well. The sort of way that double extension at the knee, just.
No, you saw him dip. His shoulders went forward again at the top.
Yeah.
That's a shame. It's a shame. Although we are only in the second round, does have another crack at that. So Van Bezuyen now, 3:20, which will equal his stated PB.
See the standard of powerlifting is just going up every year, sort of 800 now is second tier total, crazy at 93s at this championships.
You go back, what, 2 years, and 50 kilos off that would have been impressive.
Yeah, 100%.
Come on, Richard. Come on, you can do that.
Give it 10 years, we'll be seeing the 93s doing 1,000. You heard it here first, folks.
Dion.
Down.
What did the ref say for that?
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, his shoulders again, just not quite locked back.
Yeah, your shoulders have to be all the way back. Again, it's a little suggestive from the referees. No, he was struggling there, wasn't he?
Yeah. Sort of one of those where you know that you're not quite locked out, but if you push your head up and...
Yeah, push your head up, lean back and hope. But unfortunately, not this time. Right, Hofer, Austria. 3:20, I believe. Looks like 3:20 to me.
Yep.
This
will be a PB for him. His deadlift PB apparently is 317.5.
20 kilo new personal best attempt. Come on, Lenny. Followed by Tomasevi and Pickering.
Yeah, his opener was really, really convincing. So 15 kilo jump, I feel like that's...
Yeah, reasonable.
Yeah.
The doors all closed.
Coach calling for a bit of support from the crowd. Expect to hear Austrians shouting Jawohl.
Very nice.
Yeah, agreed. Very nice. Well, they didn't say it, so I will. Jawohl. Yeah, very nice. Right, so Tamasebi, 325, gone up from 307.5.
Let's see how this goes.
Yeah, I mean, he's safe with that 307 now, so you can't say the boy's not a trier. Wearing the competition t-shirt as well. You can just see that under his singlet. I believe the rules are it's got to be an approved t-shirt or the competition t-shirt. Guys have to wear a t-shirt now, as do ladies. It's been the rule for about 4 years, I think.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Showing my age. Okay, come on, Tamasebi. You've put it up, now you've got to pull it up.
Better than his last one.
Yeah.
Much better pill, much more convincing with that lockout.
So following that logic, he should put about 350 on there and see where he goes. I hope he's not listening to me because that would be crazy. But anything is possible, though. IPF World Championships.
Yeah. We've seen some pretty crazy things so far this week, so anything can happen.
Yeah. Okay, what's Will got?
325 too. He's going to build this ground now, so needs every kilo he can get.
He goes. Really firing himself up now. You said he was a height lifter, you weren't wrong.
Yeah.
Here we go. Yeah, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Yeah.
What do the refs say?
Yeah, I don't want to judge
3
it.
weights.
Yeah, that's nice. Good work, Will.
Almost lost it there. You see, he comes up to the knees just to see a little bit of daylight between him and the bar, but he manages to pull himself back in.
Yeah, similar to on the bench, if it goes offline, if that bar swings out on a deadlift, you suddenly have a heck of a lot of work to do.
Yeah. Just
Right.
physics.
Physics and, of course, our old enemy, gravity.
Yeah.
Well, so everyone in this third round is going way over 300, and Tamasebi's put 340 up. Again, though, last round could change it, could be a bluff, but I'm not sure what he's going to be bluffing against, really. I'm not sure how many people are actually trying to win the Bs, although we keep talking about it.
I think maybe it's that, put a number in, wait for everyone else to deadlift, and then maybe think, okay, do I want to place the highest in the B group, or do I want to try and get the biggest total possible? And 340 means he will be the last man out, so it means he can do what he wants.
Yeah, he's got options, hasn't he? And again, that low lot number.
Come on, give him a little support here, please.
Okay, so Luis Vena
Was really a little support.
didn't even move off the floor for his last one. No, he's much more steady than dynamic, so it moved a little further, but
Thank you.
bridge too far for him, unfortunately.
Ends up with 745 on his total.
Not bad.
Yeah.
I'd take it. Okay, here's Thomas Gear. Didn't get 315, but he's gone 317.5. That was just because he kind of bobbed forward at the top, didn't he?
Yeah, he just was a little bit soft. So he thinks that he's strong enough to take this.
Yeah, knows what he needs to do.
Canada, 317.5 kilo, followed by Van Bezoin and Fuller. He's the second one. Come on, he needs this one. Give big hand here for Thomas. Come on, Thomas.
Hold it there.
Much more convincing at the top.
Yeah.
Much better.
Salute.
Wise choice. Wise choice.
320 kilos. This is the same as his.
This is a tough one to come back from. 320, just missed this, literally just at lockout last time.
You need to support him.
Yeah, that's the next lifter, Van Bezoyen.
Yeah.
Like my friend says, the contact here.
Yeah.
Come on, let's go.
320, this will equal his PB on the world stage. Again, this one was marginal.
Yeah, if he just can just be a little bit more convincing at that finish point, should get this. See, he was a little bit better, but nah.
Not enough, unfortunately. And there goes his coach straight to the jury, which you can do if it's 2-1, and there's really nothing to lose at that point. That's Pardeep Cayley of the Netherlands. You can see that in the far side of the shot. You watch the lights change and straight over. Coach doing his job, although it doesn't look like he was successful. Still, doesn't hurt to try. Right, Adam Fulak now, Great Britain. Another man coming for 320. Yep, 320.
Great Britain, are you here? Come on. You personal best for Adam.
This will equal his PB total, but on an international platform. So that'd be a nice way to end the day.
The deadlifter from the desert.
See what you got, Adam.
The concentration there is incredible.
Oh,
Well, you can't blame the lad for trying, but
yeah. Everything he had there, left it all on the platform.
This is also a new personal best.
Pass through now. 322.5. Another 20 kilo jump.
Big jump forward, 20 kilo more than the second attempt.
Yeah, can his coach get any louder? I think we're about to find out.
Nice loaded for
I feel like this is the whole of Spain are here, but there's about 3 of them.
Yeah. Quite a lot of support from the crowd. That's the thing you'll find with powerlifting, though. People love a trier.
Yeah. First 2 look really, really solid.
They did. They were quick as anything. 20 kilos can make a lot of difference, though. Let's see what he's got. Shame.
Great effort though.
It was. That's the thing with those dynamic lifters, though. Once it stops.
Yeah, so usually it looks like you could do another 5 reps, or it doesn't move.
Didn't really get started, though, did it? Didn't get the speed off the floor that he wanted, and I think he relies on that to get the deadlift all the way up. Right, we've got 3 guys left. This is Pascal Sukkar of Germany. I think 325 is what he's asked for, which is way over his PB, but he beat that with his second attempt anyway of 315.
His lifting's come a long way. He's sort of just to give him a good PB total. His deadlifts have looked really good so far. He's had a good day.
He has. And he kind of opened it up and kind of, you know, started to smile and roar at the bar a little bit, so I think we're going to see some more of that.
Getting the crowd involved.
German team are always great supporters. We always see that. He's getting himself in the zone. That is a beautiful thing to see. What are you going to have? Well, I'll have 6 reds each end. Anything else? No, thanks, mate. Just the collars.
No change. Lovely, lovely pull.
What do you think about the lockout?
See. Yeah. That's unfortunate because it looked like he probably could have just made it a bit more convincing. It didn't look like a strength thing. He got there and then he just stopped it. You know, he could have just pulled his shoulders back a little bit more and maybe got that.
That's a shame. Okay, from Germany to Austria. This is Rennie Hofer. 327.5.
Let's see how he goes.
Alles Jetzt from his coach. Jetzt, which means everything now. If I remember my school German correctly. He's right though, it's your 3rd deadlift. You don't need to save anything. Oh dear.
Unlucky.
Shame.
330 now.
Yeah, so Tamasebi, as we suspected, has put it down from his rather ambitious 340. Saying that, 325 looked great.
Yeah. I think 340 went in. I think they're just playing a little bit of tactics. The German missed his 325, so now he's already in first place at the moment before the A group coming up. So he can just put on what he wants.
Already won the B group, as we say.
Please be ready in the tracksuit for the participation medal. C group and B group.
Focus there. Yeah, big smile. I think that was a great pull. Yes.
It's a perfect number too. Absolutely perfect number.
Beautifully judged. 340, not a chance, but 330, that was awesome.
What a way to finish.
Yeah. So that has been the B group. I've been Joe Whiteley with the Welsh legend Owen Hubbard, and hope you've enjoyed that. Tune in at 1900 hours local time to see the A groups and see how that goes down. Thank you.